This is a journey that begins with a gaze toward the heavens and ends with a quiet release of the heart. The 6-day, 5-night traverse of the Xueshan West Ridge was not merely about the thrill of summiting 6 Baiyue peaks. It was a magnificent epic, a profound dialogue with the high mountains, forests, stars, and oneself, deep in the heartland of Taiwan. Day 1, the overture, from the metropolis to the clouds. The story began with the crisp, clean air of Wuling Farm. Shouldering our heavy packs, our group set foot on the Xueshan Trailhead. The goal for the first day was Qika Hut, a stretch that served as a warm-up for the trials ahead, with every step filled with anticipation for the path to unfold. As we walked the ascending switchback trail, sunlight filtered through the coniferous forest, casting mottled shadows. The clamor of the city was gradually left behind, washed away in sweat. Day 2. No tears on the crying slope, only awe at the summit. We set off before dawn, our headlamps cutting beams of light through the darkness. We passed the famous crying slope, but despite its name, the view of the majestic central Sharp Mountain and Nanhua Mountain in the early morning mist humbled us, inspiring a deep and heartfelt reverence. Upon reaching the Xueshan East Peak, the vista opened up dramatically, with the holy ridge sprawling across the horizon like a colossal dragon. After passing through the black forest of firs, we finally arrived at the main peak of Xueshan. Standing at the pinnacle of Taiwan's second highest mountain, the 360-degree panoramic view was the first soul-stirring gift of the journey. We then descended the scree slope to Cui Pond Hut at the bottom of the glacial cirque. This hut, the highest in Taiwan, rests quietly in the embrace of ancient juniper trees. The Cui Pond before it was the dreamscape of our trip. Its water was like a mirror, reflecting the blue of the sky and the green of the junipers, serene and mysterious. At dusk, the beauty of Cui Pond was breathtaking. The sun cast a golden glow on the scree slopes of the North Peak, which reflected on the pond's placid surface, blurring the line between reality and illusion into a paradise. Day 3, ancient junipers and rolling prairies under the bright autumn moon and the faint light of dawn. Our group of 8 journeyed through a tranquil forest of ancient junipers, wandering through a 1,000-year-old natural canvas. We passed the stacked stones of Lower Cui Pond and crossed the Bokai Prairie. This was a time of intimate contact with nature. Pushing through bamboo grass taller than ourselves and treading on unstable rocks was strenuous, but filled with the joy of exploration. The highlight of the day was Huoshishan Mountain. Before the summit lay a vast prairie, soft as a carpet, tempting us to lie down and feel the immensity of the world. On the peak, its brown rock layers shone in the sunlight like fire, living up to its name, Firestone Mountain. We camped at the Danananshan West Saddle campsite, where a sky full of brilliant stars provided the gentlest conclusion to the day. Day 4, a ridge walk on the golden avenue of the clouds. This was one of the most sublime sections of the Xueshan West Ridge, from Danananshan Saddle campsite to Pepita campsite. After watching the sunrise from the slopes near Danananshan Saddle, we walked the ridgeline toward Touyingshan Mountain. On one side was the collapsed cliff face at the headwaters of the Don River, on the other, open grassy slopes. Past the peak of Touyingshan Mountain, the path to Xueshan Mountain was marked by fascinatingly rugged rock formations. Baiyue Peak, Qijuan Mountain stunned us with its incredible views. I silently greeted the surrounding peaks, both those I have visited and those yet to be climbed. After fetching water below Qijuan campsite, we cooked a delicious pumpkin soup in a forest clearing. The midday sun streamed through the trees, and everything felt perfectly serene. The grasslands leading to Daxueshan Mountain offered superb views. The autumn sun was gentle, not scorching, with layers of distant mountains and clearly visible valleys and villages. Walking on this golden avenue to the sky, despite being weighed down by water, I couldn't stop taking pictures, as every glance was a breathtaking landscape. A light pack ascent to Daxueshan Mountain meant another Baiyue Peak was gently accomplished. Below, Pipita campsite, nestled in a sea of clouds, looked like an island softly calling to welcome its guests for the night. Though my body was weary, I gazed at the beautiful river of stars until sleep finally claimed me. Day 5, the descent in Zhongxue, a trial of endurance and heart. The morning wind carried the crisp breath of the forest, while a deep blue still lingered in the sky. Fellow travelers, moving with purpose, awaited the sunrise from the peak of Pepita, anticipating the brilliant first light. In the end, we could only capture a photo with the morning glow before we began the steep descent from the main ridge saddle. We passed through the gate of Daxueshan Mountain and dropped over 1,000 meters in elevation to eventually meet Forest Road 230. Though the path was long, the forest was primordial, with ancient trees reaching for the sky. Walking here, it felt as if you could hear the very breathing of the woods.
给阿成下背包，背包很重。那个你肯定可以下背包，我们拍照要5分钟。这个早有光。不要背光。对，下背包，下背包，这个是最有名的大城山。
At noon, we reached the Zhongxue mountain trailhead at the 26 kilometers mark and, with light packs, took on the challenge of the final Baiyue peak of our trip. The path was steep and the bamboo groves were dense. Though there was no view from the summit, the sense of accomplishment was beyond words. We camped by the forest road that night, listening to the chorus of insects. Reflecting on the past few days, my heart was filled with a profound sense of peace and fulfillment. Day 6, the desolate beauty of Forest Road 230, the path homeward. The way home was a long, 26-kilometer journey along Forest Road 230. This road, abandoned after the 9/21 earthquake, has long been reclaimed by nature. Landslides, collapsed cliff faces, fallen trees, and thickets of silvergrass made the path a constant challenge. Yet, it was also a journey filled with a desolate beauty. Seeing the abandoned work huts and faded trail markers, one could imagine its bustling past. Now, what remains is the resilience of life and the quiet power of nature. When we finally emerged and saw the Xueshan Visitor Center, an indescribable feeling of emotion washed over us. In that moment, the fatigue of 6 days transformed into a sweet reward. Looking back on the path we had traveled, the majesty and tenderness of the Xueshan West Ridge were etched deep within our souls. This was more than a hiking trip, it was a journey of the heart. Through walking, we saw a wider world and met a more resilient version of ourselves.